The arrival. The massive space station loomed before the small transport shuttle, its gleaming silver surfaces reflecting the light of nearby stars. 12-year-old Kai pressed his face against the viewport, his eyes wide with wonder. The galactic nexus was even more impressive than he'd imagined. Impressed, young one. The shuttle pilot, a lanky alien with blue skin and 4 arms, chuckled. Wait until you see the inside. Kai nodded, unable to tear his gaze away from the spectacle. He'd been preparing for this moment for years, but nothing could have truly readied him for the reality of leaving Earth and venturing into the stars. As the shuttle docked, Kai shouldered his small bag and tried to calm his racing heart. He was here to represent humanity in the intergalactic junior martial arts tournament. It was a huge responsibility, and he couldn't afford to let his nerves get the better of him. The airlock hissed open, and Kai stepped into a bustling corridor filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some towered over him, while others scuttled by at ankle height. The air was filled with a cacophony of languages, only some of which his translator implant could decipher. A holographic map appeared before him, guiding him towards the tournament registration area. As he walked, Kai couldn't help but notice the looks he was receiving. Some aliens regarded him with curiosity, others with disdain, and a few with outright hostility. At the registration desk, a bored-looking alien with tentacles for arms barely glanced at him. Species, it drawled. Human, Kai replied, standing as tall as he could. The alien's eyes widened slightly, all 4 of them focusing on Kai. Human, we weren't expecting. Never mind. Age? 12 Earth years. A ripple of laughter spread through the nearby aliens who had overheard. Kai felt his cheeks burn, but kept his expression neutral. 12. A voice boomed from behind him. Kai turned to see a massive reptilian alien looming over him. They sent a hatchling to represent Earth. This tournament is no place for pets, little one. Kai met the alien's gaze steadily. I'm here to compete, just like everyone else. The reptilian's laugh was like grinding stones. Compete? You'll be lucky to survive your first match. Go home, human. This is no place for your kind. As the alien stomped away, Kai took a deep breath. He'd expected this kind of reaction, but experiencing it firsthand was different. Still, he wouldn't let their mockery deter him. He was here to prove himself and to show the galaxy what humanity was capable of. The registration process completed, Kai was directed to his quarters. The room was small but comfortable, with a bed that adjusted to his body shape and a window that offered a breathtaking view of space. As he unpacked, a gentle chime announced an incoming message. A holographic screen appeared, displaying the tournament schedule. Kai's first match was tomorrow morning, against a competitor from a high-gravity world known for its powerful warriors. Kai sat on the bed, closing his eyes and beginning his meditation routine. He focused on his breathing, clearing his mind of doubts and distractions. In his mind's eye, he revisited the countless hours of training, the sacrifices he'd made to get here. He remembered his sensei's words. Kai, you carry the hopes of Earth with you. But remember, true strength comes not from the body, but from the spirit. Your greatest weapon is your mind. Opening his eyes, Kai stood and began a series of fluid movements, his body flowing through the forms he practiced countless times. Each motion was precise, controlled, a perfect blend of various Earth martial arts styles that he combined into his own unique approach. As he trained, Kai's resolve strengthened. Let them underestimate him. Let them laugh. He would show them what a human was capable of. The next morning, Kai made his way to the tournament arena. The vast space could accommodate thousands of spectators, with a central platform where the matches would take place. Screens floated in the air, displaying information about the competitors and the rules. As Kai waited for his match, he observed the other young aliens warming up. Some were practicing flashy moves, while others sat in silent meditation. The diversity was astounding. Creatures with multiple limbs, some that seemed to defy gravity, others that shimmered and changed shape. Bout 17. Kai of Earth versus Grox of Heavy World, a computerized voice announced. Kai stepped onto the platform, facing his opponent. Grox was at least twice Kai's size, with dense musculature that spoke of a life spent in high gravity. The alien sneered down at Kai. "I'll try not to break you, little human," Grox rumbled. Kai said nothing, settling into his stance. He could hear murmurs from the crowd, most of them dismissive of his chances. The signal to begin came, and Grox charged forward with surprising speed for his size. But Kai was ready. At the last moment, he sidestepped, using Grox's momentum against him. The larger alien stumbled, caught off guard by Kai's quickness. What followed was a dance of agility versus raw power. Kai darted in and out, landing precise strikes on Grox's weak points. The heavy worlder's powerful blows could have ended the match instantly if they connected, but Kai's footwork kept him just out of reach. The crowd's murmurs turned to gasps of surprise as the human boy held his own against the favored competitor. Kai's movements were fluid, almost hypnotic, as he wove between Grox's attacks. Finally, seeing an opening, Kai launched into a spinning kick that connected solidly with Grox's temple. The larger alien swayed, stunned, and Kai followed up with a series of rapid strikes that sent Grox crashing to the ground. Silence fell over the arena. Then, slowly, a ripple of applause began, building to a roar. Kai stood, breathing heavily but composed, and bowed to his fallen opponent. As he left the platform, Kai could feel the shift in the way the other competitors looked at him. The dismissive glances had been replaced by wary respect, and in some cases, outright fear. Kai had won his first match, but he knew this was just the beginning. He had taken the first step in proving humanity's worth to the galaxy. As he prepared for his next bout, Kai allowed himself a small smile. They weren't laughing anymore. First challenges. As news of Kai's victory spread through the galactic nexus, the young human found himself the center of unexpected attention. Aliens of various species approached him, some congratulating him, others sizing him up as potential competition. Kai remained polite but reserved, knowing that in this environment, anyone could be a future opponent. His next match was scheduled for the following day, giving Kai time to recover and observe other competitors. He spent hours in the spectator area, analyzing different fighting styles and strategies. The diversity of techniques was astounding. Some aliens used appendages in ways Kai had never imagined possible, while others relied on natural abilities like poison secretions or electromagnetic pulses. As Kai sat absorbed in his observations, a small rodent-like alien plopped down next to him. "Quite the show you put on yesterday, human," the creature squeaked, whiskers twitching. "I'm Zix, by the way. Information broker and occasional mischief maker." Kai nodded politely. "Nice to meet you, Zix. I'm Kai." Zix's eyes gleamed with interest. "Oh, I know who you are. Everyone does now. You've caused quite the stir, you know. Some are calling your victory beginner's luck, but others..." The alien leaned in conspiratorially. "Others are starting to wonder if there's more to humans than they thought." Before Kai could respond, a shadow fell over them. Looking up, Kai found himself face to face with a tall, elegant alien with iridescent skin and 4 arms. "So this is the human everyone's talking about," the newcomer said, voice melodious but with an edge of steel. "I am Lyra of the Quasar Collective. Your performance was unexpected." Kai stood, bowing slightly. "Thank you. Your people's reputation precedes you. The Quasar Collective is known for its formidable warriors." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Indeed. Don't think your little victory means anything in the grand scheme of this tournament, human. You may have surprised one opponent, but you'll find the rest of us are not so easily fooled." As Lyra stalked away, Zix whistled low. My, you've certainly ruffled some feathers, or in her case, scales. The Quasar Collective doesn't take kindly to upstarts threatening their dominance." Kai frowned. "I'm not here to threaten anyone. I just want to compete fairly and do my best." Zix patted Kai's arm with a tiny paw. Noble sentiments, my young friend. But in this tournament, everyone has an agenda. Speaking of which, the rodent alien glanced around furtively. There are whispers of something bigger going on behind the scenes. Keep your eyes open and your guard up. Before Kai could press for more information, Zix scampered off, leaving the young human with more questions than answers. The next day, Kai faced his second opponent, a lithe serpentine alien named Soth. Unlike Grox's brute force approach, Soth was all about speed and precision. The match was a blur of lightning-fast strikes and counter-strikes. Kai found himself pushed to his limits, his human reflexes tested against Soth's naturally superior speed. But what Kai lacked in raw physical ability, he made up for in adaptability and strategic thinking. He observed Soth's patterns, predicted his movements, and slowly turned the tide of the match. In a moment of perfect synchronicity between mind and body, Kai executed a complex series of moves that ended with Soth pinned and unable to continue. The crowd erupted in cheers, even louder than after Kai's first victory. As Kai helped Soth up, the serpentine alien regarded him with newfound respect. You fought well, human. Your species may be young, but you have potential. Over the next few days, Kai continued to progress through the tournament brackets. Each match presented new challenges, forcing him to adapt and grow. He faced a gelatinous alien that could absorb and redirect energy, a creature that could manipulate gravity, and even a hive mind species that attacked with perfect coordination. Through it all, Kai's reputation grew. The dismissive attitudes he'd encountered upon arrival had largely given way to curiosity, and in some cases, admiration. Younger aliens from various species began approaching him, asking about Earth and human martial arts. But with his growing fame came growing danger. Kai noticed shadowy figures following him, felt hostile eyes watching his every move. Zix's warnings about hidden agendas echoed in his mind. One evening, as Kai was returning to his quarters after a particularly grueling match, he found himself cornered by a group of alien thugs. Their leader, a burly creature with rock-like skin, cracked his knuckles menacingly. "Time to teach you a lesson, human," the alien growled. "Some folks think you're making the rest of us look bad. We can't have that, can we?" Kai settled into a defensive stance, his mind racing. He was tired from his match, outnumbered, and in a confined space. The odds weren't in his favor. Just as the aliens were about to attack, a voice rang out. "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Lyra of the Quasar Collective stepped into view, her forearms crossed imposingly. The thugs hesitated, clearly recognizing her as a force to be reckoned with. "This human is a legitimate competitor," Lyra continued, her voice cold. "Attacking him outside of sanctioned matches would bring dishonor to your species and result in immediate disqualification. Is that what you want?" The aliens grumbled but backed off. As they slunk away, Lyra turned to Kai. "Don't mistake this for kindness, human. I simply believe in fair competition. If you're to be eliminated, it will be in the arena, not some dark corridor." Kai bowed deeply. "Thank you, nonetheless. I look forward to facing you in the tournament, should we be matched." A ghost of a smile flickered across Lyra's face. "We shall see, human. We shall see." As Kai finally reached his quarters, his mind was awhirl with the day's events. He had made progress, both in the tournament and in earning the respect of some of his fellow competitors. But he had also made enemies and stumbled upon hints of a larger mystery surrounding the event. Settling into his meditation pose, Kai reflected on his journey so far. He had come to prove humanity's worth, but he was beginning to realize that this tournament might be about much more than just martial arts prowess. As he closed his eyes, Kai resolved to not only continue fighting his best, but also to uncover whatever secrets the galactic nexus might be hiding. The tournament was far from over, and Kai's greatest challenges, both in and out of the arena, were yet to come. Uncovering a plot. As the tournament progressed, Kai found himself advancing further than anyone, including himself, had expected. He was now in the quarterfinals, one of only 8 competitors remaining out of the hundreds that had started. His success had brought him acclaim, but also intensified the scrutiny and pressure he faced. Between matches, Kai had taken to exploring the vast space station, partly out of curiosity and partly to clear his mind. It was during one of these wanderings that he overheard a conversation that would change everything. Kai was passing by a secluded corridor when he heard hushed voices speaking in a language his translator couldn't fully decipher. Curiosity piqued. He edged closer, careful to remain hidden. Human success. Unexpected variable. One voice hissed. Irrelevant. Another, deeper voice rumbled. The plan proceeds. Once the final match is underway, it will be too late for anyone to stop us. Kay's heart raced. What plan were they talking about? And why was the final match significant? Before he could hear more, a hand clamped down on his shoulder. Kai spun, ready to defend himself, only to find Zix staring up at him with wide, worried eyes. Not here, the rodent-like alien squeaked, pulling Kai away. Too many ears, too many eyes. Once they were in a more populated area, Zix released Kai's arm. You're poking your snout where it doesn't belong, young human. That's usually my job. Kai frowned. What's going on, Zix? What do you know about this plan they mentioned? Zix's whiskers twitched nervously. I've been hearing things. Whispers, rumors. This tournament. It's not what it seems. There are forces at work here bigger than any of us realized. What kind of forces? Kai pressed. Zix shook his head. I don't know for sure. But think about it. Why gather the most promising young fighters from across the galaxy in one place? It's not just about sport. Someone's using this tournament for something else, something big. Kai's mind raced, connecting dots he hadn't even realized were there. The excessive security, the mysterious energy readings he'd noticed around the station, the way certain areas were off-limits even to competitors. We need to find out more, Kai said, determination setting in. Zix eyed him warily. Be careful, human. You've already made waves by getting this far in the tournament. Start asking the wrong questions, and you might find yourself in real danger. Kai nodded, appreciating the warning. I'll be careful. But I can't just ignore this. If something's going on that could put everyone here at risk, we need to know what it is. Over the next few days, Kai split his focus between preparing for his upcoming match and discreetly investigating the mystery surrounding the tournament. He enlisted Zix's help in gathering information, leveraging the aliens' network of contacts and talent for eavesdropping. What they uncovered was disturbing. There were inconsistencies in the tournament's financial records, suggesting that someone was funneling massive amounts of resources into something beyond the event itself. Security protocols in certain areas of the station were far more stringent than seemed necessary for a youth martial arts competition. Most alarmingly, Kai and Zix discovered references to something called Project Descendants in fragments of encrypted communications. Whatever this project was, it seemed to be tied to the energy fluctuations Kai had noticed and was scheduled to reach some sort of culmination during the tournament's final match. As Kai pieced together the puzzle, he realized he was facing a moral dilemma. His next match, the semifinal. As Kai pieced together the puzzle, he realized he was facing a moral dilemma. His next match, the semifinal, was in just 2 days. If he won, he'd advance to the finals, potentially putting himself at the center of whatever nefarious plan was unfolding. But if he lost intentionally or withdrew from the tournament, he'd lose his best chance at uncovering the truth and potentially stopping a galactic threat. Lost in thought, Kai almost didn't notice Lyra approaching until she was right in front of him. The Quasar Collective fighter regarded him with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. You seem troubled, human, Lyra said, her voice uncharacteristically soft. Second thoughts about your place in this tournament. Kai met her gaze, weighing his words carefully. Lyra, have you noticed anything strange about this competition? Anything that doesn't quite add up? Lyra's eyes narrowed. What are you implying? Before Kai could respond, an announcement blared through the station's speakers. Attention all competitors. Due to an unforeseen incident, the semifinal matches have been rescheduled. They will now take place tomorrow. All participants should report to the main arena at 800 hours station time. Kai and Lyra exchanged glances. This was unprecedented. The tournament schedule had been rigidly maintained until now. You know something, Lyra said. It wasn't a question. Kai took a deep breath. I think there's more going on here than just a martial arts tournament. Something dangerous, and I think it's going to come to a head during the final match. For a long moment, Lyra was silent. Then, to Kai's surprise, she nodded. I've had my suspicions as well. The energy readings, the restricted areas, the way certain officials have been acting. It doesn't add up. We need to find out more, Kai said urgently. But with the semifinals moved up, I don't know if there's time. There's time, Lyra interrupted, because we're going to work together. Kai blinked in surprise. You want to help? Lyra's expression was grim. Whatever's happening here threatens all of us. Our petty competition means nothing in the face of that. Besides, she added with a hint of a smile, I'd rather face you fairly in the finals than let some shadowy conspiracy decide the outcome. With Lyra's help, Kai's investigation took on new urgency. They split up, each using their unique skills to gather information. Kai used his small size and agility to access areas that were off-limits, while Lyra leveraged her status as a favorite to win the tournament to question officials and gain access to restricted data. As the hours ticked down to their semifinal matches, Kai and Lyra regrouped to share what they'd learned. The picture that emerged was alarming. Project Ascendance isn't just about the tournament, Lyra explained, her voice low. It's about harnessing the energy of the competitors, specifically the finalists. Kai nodded, filling in the blanks. The martial arts techniques we use, they're not just physical, are they? There's an energy component. Precisely, Lyra confirmed. Many species channel a form of life energy in their martial arts. The Quasar Collective calls it star essence. Humans might know it as chi or ki. And someone has found a way to collect and amplify that energy, Kai concluded. But for what purpose? Before Lyra could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. A computerized voice echoed through the corridors. Alert! Security breach detected. All competitors report to designated safe zones immediately. Kai and Lyra shared a look of understanding. Whatever was happening, it was starting now, ahead of schedule. We need to get to the main arena, Kai said, already moving. That's where it's all going to go down. Lyra fell into step beside him. Agreed. But be prepared, human. We may be walking into a trap. As they raced through the chaotic corridors, dodging panicked aliens and security drones, Kai's mind was racing. He had come to this station to prove humanity's worth in the galactic community. Now he found himself at the center of a conspiracy that threatened the entire tournament, and possibly much more. The main arena loomed before them, its massive doors sealed shut. Kai could feel an ominous vibration in the air, a gathering of powerful energies that made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. Ready? Lyra asked, her forearms tensed for action. Kai nodded, settling into a fighting stance. Ready. Let's show them what a human and a Quasar can do when we work together. With a shared nod of determination, Kai and Lyra charged towards the arena doors, prepared to face whatever threat awaited them on the other side. The true test, for Kai, for humanity, and for the entire galactic community, was about to begin. Part 4. The Final Match. The massive doors of the main arena groaned open as Kai and Lyra approached, revealing a scene of chaos within. The once pristine fighting platform was now surrounded by a shimmering energy field, pulsating with an eerie, otherworldly light. At the center stood a figure Kai recognized. The tournament's head judge, a being of indeterminate species who had always remained aloof and mysterious. But now, The judge's form was warped, tendrils of dark energy writhing around their body. Their voice, when they spoke, echoed with unnatural power. "Ah, our final contestants arrive," the judge sneered. "How fitting that a human and a quasar should be the last to fall." Kai's eyes darted around the arena. The other semifinalists were there too, trapped within smaller energy fields, their life force being steadily drained to fuel whatever machination was at work. "What is the meaning of this?" Lyra demanded, her forearms spread in a defensive posture. "Release the other competitors at once." The judge laughed, a sound that sent chills down Kai's spine. "You fail to see the bigger picture, young ones. This tournament was never about finding the best fighter. It was about gathering the most potent sources of life energy in one place." As the judge spoke, the energy field around the arena intensified. Kai could feel the pull on his own life force, a draining sensation that made his limbs feel heavy. "Project Ascendance," Kai said, realization dawning. "You're trying to ascend to some higher form of existence, aren't you? By stealing the energy of others." The judge's eyes gleamed with mad fervor. "Not just a higher form of existence, poi. Godhood. With the combined life force of the galaxy's most promising young martial artists, I will transcend the boundaries of mortality." Lyra's voice was cold with rage. "You're insane. The cosmic balance was never meant to be tampered with in this way." "Enough talk," the judge snarled. "Your energy will be the final key to my ascension." With that, the judge attacked. Tendrils of dark energy lashed out, forcing Kai and Lyra to separate. Kai rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding a blast that left a scorched mark on the arena floor. As Kai regained his footing, he saw Lyra engaging the judge directly, her forearms a blur of motion as she attempted to breach the being's defenses. But for every strike Lyra landed, the judge seemed to grow stronger, absorbing the energy of her attacks. Kai's mind raced, trying to find a solution. He couldn't match the judge's power directly, and even Lyra's formidable skills weren't enough. Then, a memory flashed through his mind. His sensei's words from long ago. "True strength comes not from the body, but from the spirit. Your greatest weapon is your mind." In that moment, Kai understood. The judge was expecting them to fight conventionally, to expend their energy in a futile battle. But there had to be another way. Dodging another energy blast, Kai called out to Lyra, "We can't beat him with force. We need to disrupt the energy field." Lyra nodded, understanding dawning in her eyes. As one, they changed tactics. Instead of attacking the judge directly, they began targeting the points where the energy field connected to the arena. Kai moved with fluid grace, his movements no longer about striking an opponent, but about redirecting the flow of energy. He could feel the life force of the other competitors, their desperation and fear. But he also sensed something else, hope sparked by his and Lyra's resistance. As Kai and Lyra worked in tandem, the judge's attacks grew more frenzied. "No, you cannot stop the ascension. I am beyond your petty martial arts." But Kai could see the cracks forming in the energy field. With each precisely placed strike, each carefully executed maneuver, the judge's control over the stolen life force weakened. In a moment of perfect synchronicity, Kai and Lyra struck the final weak points in the energy field. There was a deafening crack, like the sound of reality itself splitting, and the arena was engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When Kai's vision cleared, he saw the judge crumpled on the ground, the dark energy dissipating from their form. The other competitors were free, dazed but alive. Lyra approached Kai, a look of respect in her eyes. "Well fought, human. Your species continues to surprise me." Kai nodded, exhaustion settling into his bones. "We did it together, all of us." He gestured to the other young aliens who were now gathering around them, a united front of diverse species who had faced a common threat. As the station's security forces finally broke through into the arena, Kai realized that this event had changed everything. The tournament might be over, but a new chapter in galactic relations was just beginning. The human boy who had arrived on the station as an underdog had not only proven his worth as a martial artist, but had played a crucial role in saving the galaxy from a madman's plot. As Kai looked around at the faces of his fellow competitors, no longer rivals, but allies, he knew that the true victory here was not about winning a tournament, but about forging connections and understanding across the stars. Triumph of humanity. In the days following the dramatic conclusion of the Intergalactic Junior Martial Arts Tournament, the galactic nexus buzzed with activity. News of the thwarted plot spread rapidly across the galaxy, and delegations from various worlds arrived to investigate and deal with the aftermath. Kai found himself at the center of it all, hailed as a hero not just by his fellow competitors, but by the galactic community at large. The young human who had arrived as an underdog was now being celebrated as a symbol of courage, quick thinking, and interspecies cooperation. As Kai stood before the hastily assembled Galactic Council, he felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Representatives from hundreds of worlds watched him intently, waiting to hear from the human who had played such a crucial role in recent events. Young Kai of Earth, the Council Elder, a wizened being of indeterminate species, began. Your actions have not only saved this tournament, but have potentially averted a crisis that could have destabilized the entire galaxy. How do you think this experience will impact relations between Earth and the wider galactic community? Kai took a deep breath, remembering his training in diplomacy as well as martial arts. Honored Elder, esteemed council members, he began, his voice steady despite his nerves. What happened here was not just a triumph of humanity, but a triumph of unity. Yes, I played a part, but I couldn't have succeeded without the help of Lyra of the Quasar Collective, the information provided by Zix, and the resilience shown by all the competitors. He paused, looking around the chamber. I came here to prove humanity's worth, to show that despite being newcomers to the galactic stage, we have something valuable to offer. But what I've learned is that our true strength, all of our true strength, lies not in standing alone, but in standing together. A murmur of approval rippled through the assembly. Kai continued, gaining confidence. The plotters behind Project Ascendance sought to exploit our differences, to drain the unique energies of diverse species for their own gain. In doing so, they underestimated the power that comes from embracing those differences and working together. Moving forward, I believe Earth has much to learn from the galactic community, but I also believe we have much to offer. Humanity's adaptability, our capacity for quick thinking and innovation in the face of challenges, can be a valuable asset to all. As Kai finished speaking, the chamber erupted in applause. The council elder raised a hand for silence, a look of approval on their ancient face. Well spoken, young human. Your words give us hope for a future of greater cooperation and understanding between Earth and the rest of the galaxy. In the weeks that followed, Kai found himself involved in a whirlwind of activities. He attended diplomatic meetings, shared his experiences with eager audiences, and even began laying the groundwork for expanded cultural exchange programs between Earth and other worlds. The martial arts tournament, while officially left incomplete due to the disrupted final matches, had transformed into something far more significant. Plans were already underway for a new kind of interspecies gathering, one that would celebrate not just martial prowess, but the diverse skills and cultures of young beings from across the galaxy. On his last day on the galactic nexus, before returning to Earth, Kai stood at the same viewport where he had first gazed out at the station upon his arrival. The view was the same, but his perspective had changed dramatically. Quite a view, isn't it? A familiar voice squeaked. Kai turned to see Zix scampering up to join him. It really is, Kai agreed. Hard to believe everything that's happened since I first saw it. Zix's whiskers twitched in amusement. You've made quite an impression, my young friend. The name Kai of Earth is on everyone's lips. You'll be returning home a hero. Kai shook his head. I'm no hero, Zix. I just did what I thought was right. And that, my boy, is precisely what makes you a hero, another voice chimed in. Lyra approached, her iridescent skin shimmering in the starlight. Your humility does you credit, but don't underestimate the impact of your actions here. Kai smiled at his friends, a tiny information broker and a statuesque four-armed warrior. Their unlikely alliance was a testament to the possibilities of interspecies cooperation. "What will you do now?" Kai asked them. Lyra's expression turned thoughtful. "The Quasar Collective has asked me to serve as a cultural ambassador. It seems our worlds have much to learn from each other." Zix puffed up his tiny chest. "As for me, I've been offered a position in the new Galactic Youth Cultural Exchange Program. Apparently, my talent for gathering information can be put to more legitimate uses." Kai laughed, a sound filled with genuine joy. "I'm glad. The galaxy needs more beings like you both." As they stood there, watching ships come and go from the galactic nexus, Kai felt a profound sense of hope for the future. He had come to this station to prove humanity's worth, but he was leaving with so much more. Friendships that spanned the stars, a deeper understanding of the galaxy's diversity, and a role in shaping a more united future for all species. The challenge that lay ahead, helping humanity find its place in this vast, complex galactic community, was daunting. But as Kai looked out at the endless expanse of space, he knew that he was ready to face it. Not alone, but together with allies from across the cosmos. As his transport ship prepared for departure, Kai took one last look at the galactic nexus. The station that had once seemed alien and intimidating now felt like a second home. He boarded the ship not just as Kai of Earth, but as a citizen of a much larger, more wonderful universe than he had ever imagined. The ship's engines hummed to life, and as the galactic nexus receded into the distance, Kai smiled. This wasn't an ending, he realized. It was just the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure among the stars.